Hi, I'm Natasha and I'm from Bangalore. I have been pioneering the social and emotional learning sessions at Paradise School for the past year, and I've also been teaching psychology here for about 3 years. That's pretty much it. That's what I do here. Social emotional learning is a really new caveat in the educational system, especially here in India. And it's really amazing that a school like Paradise is actually taking it on as a mainstream ideology and including it in something that we've been missing in the Indian education system over the past several years. Talking about mental health, talking about issues that kids might go through, having a space for them to express themselves emotionally has been really rewarding for me as a teacher. I started working at Paradise during the pandemic, and we had online sessions at that time. And we could sense that there was, of course, some kind of distress and upheavals in the kids' lives because of all of these different ways of bringing education to them. And I think when we did come back into the school and the kids started interacting with each other again, there was definitely some discrepancy in the way that that was happening, and reintegrating themselves into physical school again was something we noticed that they needed help with. Social emotional learning has 5 components or skills that we teach. They're also called life skills. It's about self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social management, how you manage your relationships. And the final and the most important aspect of it is responsible decision making. So it's about understanding yourself, understanding those around you, and in the end just being a more well-informed decision maker. And we thought that this was something Harmeet and Shanice, who really brought this into the space, really wanted the kids to experience life skills in a different way, really called 21st century skills, the kind of skills that kids need to thrive in their professional lives later on, as well as in their personal lives right now, manage their stress, be it empathy, how to really show kindness and compassion, and eventually make a difference in their community and do good in the world. So that's what we're striving to do with the philosophy that social emotional learning has. The kids have welcomed it with open arms. It's pretty natural for a subject like this or an idea like this to be accepted, because it is all about them being able to express their feelings and talk about issues that they might be going through. So it's actually worked really well. It started a conversation in the school about not just accepting happy emotions, but also understanding that emotions like sadness, anger, upset are just part of us, and they're natural, they come naturally, and we need to learn how to manage them properly, not get rid of these feelings. So there's a lot of self-acceptance that has come along with this, with these sessions. And I think that the kids themselves have started interacting with each other with a lot of awareness, a lot of regard for each other. And I feel like every time there have been issues or struggles between the kids, we do speak a common language about how we want to solve this through these sessions. So we've also kind of modified terms that we use in the field of psychology to adapt to the language that kids can use, make it more kid friendly. So when they're in a space where they're not being able to express themselves, they do have the language that makes sense to them to tell us what they're feeling or how they're feeling. And I think that the interactions that kids have had with their teachers has also changed. I think that they look at their teachers more as trusting adults, and that is something that is imperative for a child's growth. And I think this has allowed that to happen. There is a very, very strong relationship between academic achievement and kids being regulated emotionally. You must have heard of this, something called the fight, flight, freeze response. It's when we feel threatened that a particular part in our brain that we call the hotspot gets activated. So kids go into their fight, flight, or freeze response, which is mainly used when we're in survival mode. And if that is elicited, it becomes extremely difficult for kids to think from their power spot, we call it, which actually helps us with skills such as critical thinking, decision making. Our cognition basically is affected if we're in survival mode. And so for kids to actually do well or study subjects like math, science, EVS or English, it's really important that they're not in their survival mode. They are emotionally regulated. And if they are dysregulated, it's really difficult for them to pick up concepts that they may not be able to practically use right away. So I would say that having kids be in a state where they feel safe, protected and calm is when they can actually take in a lot of other aspects, ideas, a lot of more higher order thinking happens when they're calm and composed. So it has been proven through recent research. SEL is about 30 years old as a concept, and so recent research has proven that academic success or academic achievement has improved with kids just feeling like they belong to a community and when they feel safe. I do believe that the school has grown, and not just in number, but as the school grows in number, there's also a lot of new interactions that happen for kids, and for them to be able to actually learn to live with these or deal with these changes, I think they've come a long way. And I think even in terms of academic achievement, it's been really nice for me to be able to interact with all the subject teachers, talk about students and problems that they might be facing, and come together as a team to really work with that child and help the child through whatever emotional issues or whatever they might be struggling with, to help them actually access education or academia in a different way. So over the past year, as I have been working with the kids, I work right from grade 1 to 12 with all the kids in the school. It's actually helped me better myself as a person. It's actually helped me use parts of my brain that I didn't know I could use in different ways, and I'm able to embody these skills, help teachers with it, help kids with it. And this is something that has always been true about Paradise, that I've always felt a sense of freedom in the way that I want to interact with the kids. That's something that has allowed me to thrive professionally. I'm trusted, and I think that's something that is unique to the school. I've worked in several schools otherwise, not to compare, like there's always good and bad things about schools, but this is something that is irreplaceable, and I've found that I have had the most growth as a professional here than I have anywhere else, and that's pretty much it.